Peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. This is your brother Sean Ali here, Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. And as always, I pray that this brief message is received by you and your family in the best of your health, your wealth, your power, your life on purpose, right? And I also pray that these brief words are received in the spirit that I am striving to deliver them in, which is the spirit of your brother, the spirit of love, and of course and always, in the spirit and in the name of God. Family, I just wanted to come with a brief message on creating a healthy lifestyle, right? And this is important especially here at Supreme Health and Wellness. We understand that we can only be as healthy as our lifestyle, and we can only live as long as our lifestyle supports life, right? Two simple ideas. We can only be as healthy as our lifestyle, and we can only live as long as our lifestyle supports our life. And when we are looking at this, that's the foundation of health and wellness, but it's also the route to abundant life. And that's something that we all should aspire to or for, abundant life, right? That's a promise of God that he would come to give life and life more abundantly. There is no set time for the human being to die. So when we are looking at that phenomenon, that action of life, when we come out of the womb, we are examined. The doctor looks at us, right? They take an assessment of us, count the phalanges, fingers and toes, and they say, hey, here's your perfect baby boy. Here's your perfect baby girl. And they hand us off to our parents and we grow and develop, right? Okay, so when we come out of the womb, if we come out of the womb with this type of perfection, right? Good health, how do we lose it? There is nothing in the brain, nothing in the heart, nothing in the lungs. Nowhere on our anatomy can we find where at a certain point in life it's supposed to go bad, or that things are supposed to break down to the point where we die, right? So if we take a look at this, unless we are born with it, the way that we create it is through our lifestyle, right? So we want to look at the type of lifestyle that we have created. When we come out of the womb, we are under the care and tutelage of our parents and guardians. They create our lifestyle. At a certain point of our growth and development, we start to create our own lifestyles, right? We are feeding ourselves, exercising or not, getting sunlight or not, sleeping properly or not. So when we are looking at this, everything that we do, that we think, that we eat, drink, these compromise and complete our lifestyle. That is our our responsibility, right? And when you look at, especially like COVID-19, and you see a wide variety of symptoms and things like that, right? It's not because they're guessing. It's the weakest part. The lifestyle will create a strong anatomical function or body, or will create a weak anatomical body. The weakest spot in the body is where the body will manifest to let us know that it's something in our lifestyle that's going on, right? So that's one of the many beauties of the body. Yes, it can be easy for us to introduce something that creates an imbalance. But the body is designed by the creator to work itself out. Homeostasis and all of these other things that we hear where the body goes to seek balance, right? The key, or one of these, is us understanding whether or not, being realistic, not just understanding, but we got to be real with ourselves. Have I created the healthiest lifestyle that I can. See, and if we don't be real, when something happens, we will be looking to an external source or an external savior, and we won't even have faith in our own immune system or our own body's ability to fix itself, because we don't understand that, hey, it's my lifestyle that has me in that condition, not necessarily an external invader, right? So when we're looking at what is a healthy lifestyle, your lifestyle comprises everything that we do, right? The body, as you hear me say many, 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 many times, this body is designed for you to move it when you want, how you want, where you want, all of that good stuff, right? Now, I can push it too far. I can push it too far. That's where we have rest coming in, right? Because that's when my body has a chance to recover, to repair, rejuvenate, restore itself, rebalance itself, right? So no matter what I take it through during the day, just like with the circadian rhythm, right? When the part of the earth that we are on is in the sun, and they call it daylight, every cell in your body, every atom in your body that you are made of, it's active. It's on that natural circadian rhythm. It's producing action. It wants you to move. This is why in the daytime, we are more active. Now, as that part of the earth rotates away and we have darkness, nighttime, that's that circadian rhythm. It naturally makes your body yawn. It naturally makes your body tired, because now those cells, those atoms, these systems, these organs, these tissues, they need a chance to repair and recover, right? So when we're looking at a healthy lifestyle, we can see one of the main things is rest, right? That's rest. It's not necessarily sleep. Sleep and rest aren't the same thing. They are similar. You can, in that deep REM sleep, right? That's when the body is at its most restful, but its most active, right? So you can get sleep and not get a good night's rest. And you will wake up not repaired. You will wake up still in that state of disrepair, right? Of injury, right? So when we are looking at one of the main things that we need to incorporate in creating a healthy lifestyle, it is rest. Now, you'll hear about rich people saying, hey, we only get 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep, and sleep is that. But when we're looking at health and wellness, see, your health is your best wealth, because as the scripture says, what does it profit a man to gain the world but they lose their soul? So if you got all the money that you could amass, but you don't have a long lifespan to enjoy your hard work, see, that's what we're talking about. So we want to look at, okay, if I had an abundant life in front of me, I'm not in a rush for anything, because I have an abundant life to do all of these things, right? So resting is when the body has a chance to repair, rejuvenate, recover from the normal life actions that we do every day. It doesn't need a sickness. See, and this is what we got to understand. I shouldn't just get rest when I'm sick. I shouldn't just get rest when I'm worn out and tired, because now we're dealing with accumulated damage, accumulated stress. And we can have an abundance of this where it might take your death for your body to overcome all of that accumulated damage. And we want to prevent that, right? Because we know that there is no set time for this to expire. It's what we do or don't do that will put us here or take us away, right? So when we're looking at rest, that has to be at the top of the list when we're dealing with a healthy lifestyle, right? Number 2, exercise. We have to understand the importance of exercise, right? And we're made of atoms, cells, muscles. So when we're looking at the anatomy, when we are exploring and examining our anatomy, right? We have, even if you put the breastbone on, the bone, we are created. The foundation is the bone. That's that structure, right? All bones have muscles, ligaments, and tendons attached to them, right? So when we are looking, we are a majority of muscle, striated muscle, designed for you to move, bend, stretch. When you hear about quality of life, mobility and quality of life go hand in hand. Mobility and quality of life go hand in hand. Especially the older we get, the more mobile you are, the better quality of life you have. The less immobile we become and we need other people to depend on us, we recognize that is with a poor quality of life with a very, very, very short lifespan. Because we are designed, we come out of the womb. Look, you come out of the womb as a baby, right? Barely can hold your head up, right? Barely can open your hands. For the first couple days, weeks, your hands are like this. We have no control over our nervous system, over our muscles, right? Right? So, and as we start to, in these nerve endings, they start to fire and they start to connect. We start to look and open and you see the baby. They'll be amazed with their own hand, tasting it, doing this, because this is the foundation of life. That's that action, right? The neurons are firing. You're getting that action potential. Boom. The heart is beating faster because with each motion, the heart responds, the blood pressure responds, right? So this is how we grow and develop. We learn to scoot ourselves around, pull ourselves up, right? And as we grow and develop, we are supposed to become proficient in pulling ourselves up. We are supposed to become efficient at holding ourselves up. We are supposed to become lean and mean and on purpose with our actions, right? Exercise is how we control our body. Exercise is how we control our respiratory system, our cardiovascular system, which is also our circulatory system, right? So in that, everything that you put in your mouth, food, water, right? It has to be dispersed through the circulatory system. It has to be dispersed through the cardiovascular system. The arteries carry the nutrients-rich blood, right, to all of our organs, cells, and tissues. And our veins carry that deoxygenated waste away from those tissues so our bodies can remove it. Now, when we exercise cardiovascular aerobics, it helps to improve the efficiency of not just our digestive system, but our circulatory system. So now when you go to eat and drink, the arteries are pumping, are clean, are efficient, are effective. So that food, that water, that nourishment, that energy, that oxygen, it's immediately being dispersed to your cells, right? To be used. And on the other side, now that waste, that CO2, that metabolic stress, the residue from those nutrients, they are just as effectively and efficiently removed from the body. So you don't get a chance for your arteries or your veins to clog up. Look up the number one cause of death is heart disease, right? The number one cause of heart disease, clogged arteries or arteriosclerosis. How do you get your arteries clogged? A lack of exercise, right? Because you don't put that positive force and pressure on your arteries, on your veins, in the blood vessels, in the circulatory system, in the cardiovascular system. So now, and since we overeat, right? Since we are constantly putting things in our mouth, in our digestive system, in our circulatory system, this material, this abundance of material has a chance to collect and form plaque, clog the arteries, right? So when we want to create a healthy lifestyle, we want to have rest at the top. We got to change that mindset. Oh man, I'm tired. Let me go get some rest. We know health and wellness is about preventing. It's preventative actions because you don't know how something is going to affect you until it's inside of you. And then it may be too late, right? So we don't know how common cold, common flu, COVID, or any other type of health invader, you don't know how strong your body is, your composition is until it's tested. So preventive health and wellness is really about preventing, keeping myself as strong as possible is how I prevent these external invaders from affecting me, right? So number 3, sunlight. Right? Sunlight. We have to understand in science, right? In science teaches us all energy in our universe comes from the sun, right? When we're looking at photosynthesis in food, right? The plants are the producers. They take that unseen energy of the sun and through the process of photosynthesis is converted into chemicals that we can see. Carbohydrates, vitamin C, vitamin A, things of that nature, right? So we don't have to eat. We are not created to eat as much as we eat now, right? And before these modern times of food available everywhere instantly, some restaurants don't close. Some restaurants are open all 24 hours a day. You can go find something to eat or drink. That's a new phenomenon on the planet, right? So when we are looking at this, obesity, right, is the act of overeating. But normally we are overeating because we don't have enough rest. So from that rest, the body is in a state of flux. And instead of being in a state of repair, it's needing that energy to keep going. So instead of having natural energy from the sun, right? Going out sunbathing, right? Going out allowing the sun to embrace us and to imbue us with life, to eat the sun, right? We created a lifestyle that kept us out of the sun. So instead of our skin doing its job, which is the same as the cells of the plant, they convert that energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred or transformed. The same way those producers, the plants, take that energy of the sun and it transfers it into the chemicals that we can see and eat. Our skin does the same thing, right? So especially when we're looking at what they call vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, right? We have under the skin, there's a layer of cholesterol under the skin. When that sunlight hits that skin, it energizes that layer of cholesterol. And now you have a transformation process. And this is what cholecalciferol or vitamin D3 comes from. This is how it's made in the body. Now you can go and you can supplement that. You can supplement rest. You can supplement exercise. You can supplement sunlight. I mean, this world has made a supplemental version of a healthy lifestyle. But we can't, these are actions that we have to do. And if we don't do it, it goes against our anatomical structure and function. It goes against the physiology of the life itself, right? Number 4, breathing. Woo! Breathing. This here is something that approximately 95% of the population is breathing wrong. Approximately 95% of us are breathing wrong, right? In fact, the main people that learn how to breathe close to properly are singers, and when you learn how to meditate, right? Because singing, they teach you to breathe with your diaphragm, right? And that's a part of the respiratory system, a main part of the respiratory system. But they also teach you not to breathe with your mouth. And if we look at our anatomy, right? The mouth is connected to the esophagus. On this particular model, you can't see it. This is our trachea or the windpipe, right? So that trachea, when we are looking at this, right? So that esophagus comes out here. It's behind that windpipe. This is the bronchial tubes, right? So when that trachea comes down into the bronchial tubes, into the lungs, that tube there is the esophagus. It's behind that, right? Now, if you look at the head, right? The nasal, this is the tongue. When your mouth is closed, there is no, it's a sealed entity. Your nasal cavities are automatically, it's open. And it's designed to clean the air, purify it, warm it up. So by the time it passes your pharynx down into your larynx, into your windpipe, we have a clean, fresh breath of air, right? Consequently, the mouth is no filtration system in the mouth. So when you go and you got to swallow that air, at the top of at the top of your trachea, there's a piece of cartilage called the epiglottis. So when you open your mouth, the epiglottis covers up your windpipe, so food or water won't go into your windpipe. See, now your windpipe is in front. It's covered with cartilage, right? So it can remain open all the time. It's covered with cartilage, so it can remain open all the time. Because we are designed to breathe all the time. We aren't designed to eat. We are always breathing, though. You're not always drinking. You're always breathing. So breathing properly is a key to creating a healthy lifestyle. Because when your mouth is closed, you're automatically breathing naturally through your nose. That air is being filtered, it's being warmed, it's being purified, it's being cleansed before it gets into your body. Because once something gets in here, you don't know how it's going to treat you, how it's going to attack you, right? So breathing properly. Look at how they got us with a mask on. They know Now, the scientists know that 95% of us are breathing wrong. So they have us with a mask on that covers our mouth, right? But we aren't supposed to be, see, the mask is covering your mouth because there's no filter. You're not supposed to be breathing with your mouth. If you look up one of the wrong ways to breathe, mouth breathing is one of the wrong ways to breathe because there's no filter there. You're swallowing this. We are all in a polluted environment. We got the exhaust from cars, the buildings, the smoke from restaurants, acid pollution, skin dander, dust, viruses, bacteria, pathogens, dust mites. It's hundreds of things, elements that's in the air that if they get inside us, become potentially harmful. This is that design, that large cavity there is designed for you and I to have a clean, fresh breath of air, right? Now, if we look at these 4 categories, they don't involve food or water, right? You don't have to be rich. Listen, you don't have to have, it doesn't matter. These are the 4 major foundations to creating a healthy lifestyle, right? Breathing properly, breathing to live, inhale your way into health. Because yes, just as there is a wrong way to breathe, there is a proper way to breathe. But how many of us have been taught how to use our diaphragm, how to use our nose, right? How overbreathing is another way that we breathe wrong. Breathing too much, hyperventilation. You've heard of that, right? So the sleep apnea, that comes from breathing wrong, using your mouth to breathe, right? But we decrease our energy because every cell in our body, if you look up human energy, it's ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It's a 3-chain molecule where when that cell needs energy in the mitochondria, they take oxygen and glucose to make ATP, right? So this is the main job of the heart, is to pump to the lungs to get oxygen. And then it comes back to the heart. This is called the pulmonary circuit, right? So the heart has 2 circuits. You have that general circuit and you have the pulmonary circuit. So the first beat of the heart it sends deoxygenated blood to our lungs. Once that blood becomes oxygenated, it comes back to the heart, then to be dispersed throughout the body. So when we are looking at this, man, every cell in our body, we are designed to be oxygen first. We are designed to be oxygen rich, right? But we have been raised to be food and water based. Supplement. And this is really a big part of destroying that fabric of health and wellness, destroying the power of our body, right? So we just wanted to come, like I said, this is the manual, Breathing to Live. It's not a novel. We show you the body and we show you how you're supposed to breathe, right? We give exercises in here on how to control your diaphragm, belly breathing, why and when, right? We go through how it affects the sleep, how it affects diseases, growth and development. And the most important part is how we use our breathing to improve our health. Asthma, things like that. Nobody is supposed to be suffering from asthma. That's something that our bodies are supposed to work out once we learn how to breathe properly, right? Man, so look, The wow factor, creating your womb of wellness, right? And this is also a manual on how we use sleep, how we use rest to maximize that healing potential and power of rest. Because all of us eventually goes to sleep, right? No matter how much we hustle, how much we are grinding, right? We are going to eventually go to sleep, right? Now, let's say you're sitting here, you're reading a book, right? And you crash. And you startle back up. Your body is in that same position that you left it in. Unless gravity pulls something down or pull you over, your body stays locked right in that position that you left it in. And usually when you startle yourself awake, you are more tired than before you crash, right? This is because that crash, if we don't understand that rest is me stopping, a controlled stop before I crash, a controlled stop before I use all of my energy, a controlled stop, right? While I'm still have power, I'm conserving and reserving my power. So this is what the wow factor is. We show how to maximize the potential of rest, the natural healing potential, because we all hear that when you rest, that's when your body recovers. Well, either that isn't true or we aren't doing it properly. It's a true statement. So we have the science to show us how to create our womb of wellness. So every night that you go and you get in your womb, when you have your grand arising, you say, wow, I feel great. When was the last time you woke up? This is not in response to me having something wrong. This is how I improve. The same way you exercise every day to make yourself stronger. We practice the wow factor to make ourselves healthier. And we have exercise, right? The Move Something campaign, right? Moving yourself into healing, health, and abundant life. This is also a manual, right? Where, like I say, we show you the many benefits of exercise. We give you exercises to do, right? We show you the importance. There's something called the sitting disease, right? Where, look, they have a report, the sitting disease, right? Where it's saying that if you sit during the daylight hours, if we sit for more than 15 minutes at a time, we are decreasing your metabolism, your energy, your immune system, your endocrine system, your reproductive system. It's worse than stress. This is leading a sedentary lifestyle. So when we look at the number 2 actual cause of death, it's poor diet and lack of exercise. So that means that even if you are eating right, drinking right, but you aren't exercising enough, then you are still potentially causing your premature death. You will still potentially make your body weak enough for a health invader to invade you and possibly take your life. So exercise has always been important because it is the revert or the opposite of leading a sedentary lifestyle, right? That sitting disease, particularly in these modern times where a lot of us wanted desk jobs, easy jobs, super. So you're sitting all day and it could seem like, okay, I'm not hurting myself. But we can't see inside or underneath the skin. So that's why we created this, to show the science of a sedentary lifestyle, as well as how to use exercise medicinally. We have in here, the last couple chapters are devoted to how to use exercise to overcome heart disease, how to use exercise to overcome cancer, how to use exercise to overcome respiratory problems, infections, right? Because exercise, if utilized properly, is medicinal. Just like if you don't utilize it, it's deadly. They call it being sedentary, right? So we have some science that will help us understand the aspects of creating a healthy lifestyle, right? Oh, and before we go, you must know, family, we have to know our blood pressure, right? Particularly when you go to, especially, it doesn't matter what hospital you go to or doctor's appointment. They do the triage. They check your vitals. Your vital. Vital means absolutely necessary. Vital means absolutely necessary. They check, so it doesn't matter what you tell them, right? If your vitals are good, then they know that whatever's going on is not as serious as you may feel. But if your vitals are off, they will treat you according to your vitals, right? And if we wait until we get sick, injured, or some type of other imbalance before we start to monitor our blood pressure, we are putting ourselves in a precarious situation. Because high blood pressure is called hypertension. They call hypertension the silent killer. They change the numbers. That 120/80, they know is potentially too high to have it in, to be normal, to be considered normal, right? That's too stressful, because it should not take that amount of force and power to keep you alive when you are in a resting state. We check the resting, right? Your resting blood pressure. So if you've been sitting still for 30 minutes, right? And you've been sitting still for 30 minutes or so, right? And you go and you monitor your blood pressure. It should be as low as possible, because it should take very minimal pressure and power to keep you alive if you aren't doing anything. See, that's what makes high blood pressure, hypertension so dangerous, because it's the resting blood pressure. It's those resting numbers. If you aren't doing anything, the body should need very minimal. We looking at 115/75. We looking at a 45 beat per minute heart rate, right? It should take very little power to keep you alive. You're not doing anything. You're resting. So it is vital that we monitor our resting heartbeat, because see, we got to know what our lifestyle is doing to us, right? That's with your blood pressure. It is every time you move, the blood pressure goes up, heartbeat goes up to support your movement as it's designed. This is why we check the resting numbers, because when I'm not moving, it shouldn't take that much power. But if I'm not getting enough exercise, my cardiovascular system is exercised. It is built or strengthened through exercise. If I'm not getting sunlight, if I'm not breathing properly, right? If I'm not getting rest, I will be able to see. See, when you register and monitor your blood pressure, these are the numbers of your life. And these numbers can tell you where your life is at, how much you have in front of you. But the beautiful thing is, we control all of it. But we gotta know it so we can control it, right? And so that's what we do here at Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. We help, one of the main things that we help is, or that we do, is we help to control or help you to create the healthiest lifestyle for you. Not us, right? Not nobody else, but for you, because it's your life and it's meant for you to live it and enjoy it. As your brother, we have some science and some activities and some therapies that can help you promote and build and create that healthiest, strongest lifestyle. So you can go and you can carpe diem, seize your day. So you can conquer your day so that you can create your heaven and set yourself in it at once. But there are things that we have to do. We cannot supplement these things. Well, you can, but they won't be as effective as you doing the actions themselves, right? So I thank you all for tuning in to this brief message. If there's any questions or any assistance that you need, please feel free to contact us, family. Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. Now look, we still got some time in the day, right? No matter where you at, the day is not over. So we can still go and create a strong, healthy day, because a lifestyle happens one day at a time, right? So we can still go and conquer that healthy day and create that healthy day, right? So that as we go to end the day, we can end it on a high, positive, righteous, God, healthy note. So when we go and we prepare for the next day, we have a better chance, right? We'll put ourselves in a better position, right? So that as we have that grand horizon, we could go and we could seize the day, conquer the day, and create our heaven and set ourselves in it at once. As it is, it's always up to us, right? So family, thank you all for tuning in. I'm your brother, Sean Ali, here. Supreme Health and Wellness by Sean Ali. I leave you as I came, in the spirit of peace, some words of peace. I say, Namaste Hotep, power to the people, Salam Alaikum, peace.